This is a special edition of Channel 4 News, the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our 5 o'clock edition of the Channel 4 News, Hurricane Andrew, the aftermath. I'm Tony Segreto for the next hour, and then following that with Tom Randalls and Kelly Craig, we will be bringing you more information as to the day's activities in the Homestead South Dade area as that area continues to try and rebuild after the devastation of Hurricane Andrew. But let me bring you up to date as to what happened today. It was an important day in that area because President Bush, at 8:14 this morning, sat down at Homestead Air Force Base to take a look at the most damaged areas caused by Hurricane Andrew and to observe the rescue efforts for the homeless. One of the most important aspects of the day, and I say one of the most. If you recall yesterday, Governor Childs asked for and received today from the president 100% reimbursement for hurricane cleanup costs. Without this aid, our state would and could go bankrupt. Now, another big boost to the South Dade County area, of course, the president's promise to rebuild Homestead Air Force Base. If you were with us yesterday, Brian Norcross and I spoke with Senator Bob Graham. He alluded to the fact of the importance of the Air Force Base to not only that area, but to our country. You know, with every building damaged and destroyed, congressmen from other areas in and out of Florida were already jockeying to have the base closed and have that money spent to expand other facilities. However, President Bush, as Senator Graham told us yesterday, noted the importance of Homestead Air Force Base to the devastated community and said he would, in fact, rebuild it. Now, as we have been seeing for the last few days, soldiers continue to put up the tents and make tent cities in the South Dade, Homestead, Florida City area. In fact, what you're seeing now are the kitchens being put up. They're not ready for the people to move into them as a step. We told that these tent cities would be contained for housing and powering would be up to speed by tomorrow. As a result, as of 200 our power short to make this you are in Broward County and you do not have power, please contact FP&L so they know about this, because what they have done, quite frankly, is taken all the workers out of the Broward County area. They have moved them to South Dade to help in that effort as well. And we have also learned that at 9 o'clock tonight, President Bush will make an announcement to the nation on the relief efforts here in South Florida. And with that in mind, we ought to tell you about a programming note here. We will stay on the air with news until 7 o'clock, followed by the NBC Nightly News, then Entertainment Tonight, followed by NBC Primetime, the President's Address at 9 o'clock, and then a very special edition of the Channel 4 News at 10 o'clock, and we will stay with you until 11:35. Now let's go to our South Dade Field Bureau. Standing by there, Brian Norcross. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Tony, and good afternoon. From Homestead here, I'll show you what's going on right now and then tell you about the big event here earlier today. What they're doing here is just about to put up one of the poles in the tent city for power. Now, you see over here the hole that has been dug, and they have this big drill arrangement that's up here on this machine. This is a sort of a machine that does everything up there. You see that drills the hole in the ground, and now what they're doing with this big hook is they're going to grab this power pole here and hoist it up, and that's all this has got to happen before they can string the electric cables. Here's another one down here. You can see it in action as they're drilling the holes down this way for power in this tent city. 108 tents here, and as you know, it can house up to about 2,500 people, but they're thinking more in the 1,500 person range. So the Marines are out here making all this happen and making it happen in a big hurry. It's amazing what they've been able to do in just about no time at all. In fact, I think we'll get out of the way of this heavy machinery and let these guys continue their work. They've run a lot of the wires, although we see these tents in here. There's some of you can see the wires that are in the tent, but they haven't gotten the overhead wires to where these can drop down yet. Now, earlier today, as you said, President Bush came to Homestead, I guess, partly as a morale boost for the folks here and partly to make his announcement. He went to Campbell Middle School, where they have over there hospital facilities, and of course it's a relief center as well. Big hub for this relief activity, and the president was there. A young boy came up and sort of attached himself to the president, and Mr. Bush told the boy that his parents were going to be strong and see him through it. And he had some good news for the folks here in the Homestead area and really for all of the devastated areas of South Dade.
today I'm announcing that we are committed to rebuilding Homestead Air Force Base. To show our commitment to South Florida. Homestead is very important to our military. It helps combat the cocaine trade, it provides air defense, and it will be rebuilt. Now, I don't underestimate our task in South Florida, particularly after being here, back here today. And to ease the financial burden, today I'm authorizing under the Stafford Act full federal reimbursement for 100% of all eligible public assistance, including projects such as debris removal to eliminate immediate threats to public health and safety, and repair and reconstruction of non-profit facilities. After the state has committed an amount equal to, what was it, $10 per capita, but this authorization is the maximum that we can do, and I'm very proud that we're doing this. Temporary housing and mortgage assistance, crisis counseling, disaster unemployment assistance will continue to be 100% federally funded where permitted under the law. And although some cost sharing is involved, the federal assistance that I have authorized today represents an extraordinary and very appropriate response to this human tragedy.
I'm here with Kerry Sanders. Now, Kerry, you were with the president today and through the whole sort of entourage that came through here. Was the response enthusiastic, pessimistic? What was your view?
Well, there were some people who were very enthusiastic, some people who were very happy to see the president here, and the president gave a very good pep talk, and the people who were energized about that came out very strong and said, you know, with the spirit, yes, we will rebuild. But there are other people here who are pessimistic. There are people who say, I know that Congress has to go ahead and pass off on the president's decision to rebuild Homestead. That's not simply the president who says it. Congress has to get involved in that. And there are a lot of people who are not so sure that Homestead will be rebuilt, especially since MacDill Air Force Base up in Tampa was on the list for the Base Closure Commission. They know that the F-16s can make it from MacDill down here to Homestead in about 7 minutes. So they scratch their heads and wonder whether, despite the president's promise, whether it actually will be rebuilt.
So your sense is that it's not really them doubting George Bush's word, it's more than thinking the Congress isn't going to go along? Is that what you think? Or you think it's just, they think, oh, it's just political talk?
I think they feel that, to a certain extent, it is politics. The president made a promise, and they probably believe that the president will stand by his promise. But the decision is not only his. Congress has to get involved. And the more people you get involved, the more likely things won't turn out the way the people here, because, you know, it supports the economy, the way the people here say they would like to see it turn out.
Now, were you over on the base today when he arrived?
As a matter of fact, I was right here with the president as he toured the tent city here. This is Harris Field, and he walked through. As you can see, there is nobody here yet. The folks have not moved in, but the president took a walking tour. He met members of the 2nd Expeditionary Force from the U.S. Marines, told them that he was pleased with what they were doing. He was thankful to see the U.S. military helping out Americans. I even got a chance to go up to the president and ask him a question, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think I'd get that close to him.
And shook his hand, right?
Yeah, I did shake his hand, and I asked him what promises he was going to make to the community, and then just a short while later, he announced that the promises he was going to make was going to be the 100% financing for the public assistance of governments rebuilding the infrastructure of the communities here in South Dade Homestead, and the promise of Homestead Air Force Base.
Have you had a chance to encounter the city officials down here yet? I mean, was there a big sigh of relief from them?
Yes, I had a chance to talk to Alex Muxo, who's the city manager here in Homestead, and he was very charged. He had about a 35-minute meeting with President Bush, and he had a chance to talk to him, address his concerns that he has about getting the federal help. And his real concern is the president has now made 2 visits here to South Florida, and he wants to make sure that this remains on the agenda, because he's afraid 6 months, 8 months down the road that, you know, the attention will no longer be on this part of the world. And the president, when the president speaks about an area, people do jump. It draws attention to a community. We know that the president is going to be speaking tonight at 9 o'clock, and he just hopes 6 months to 8 months down the road that things are still getting the attention that they need and he feels that it deserves.
Now, yesterday, you were out at an apartment building here. I've been out here this afternoon when we had our break. We went and visited some folks that are still in some of these ravaged apartment buildings, and And I got to tell you that I was surprised, as I think you were yesterday when we had that conversation, sort of a three-way conversation with those folks that seemed determined to stay there. Do you think that they're going to get people to come in this tent city?
Well, I know that they will get people into this tent city. This one will hold 1,500 people, but whether the people come willingly is another question, and one that I guess we'll see when the folks begin arriving here. We're told now, despite the work that's still going on here, that this tent city might not be ready until Thursday. And we'd reported yesterday that they were very optimistic, thought it would be ready by sundown tonight.
Although I think they will allow people to sleep in here and have cover if they do need it. Because I was not able to find anybody living in this neighborhood within almost shouting distance of this tent city that wanted to come down here. They were staying in apartments, which we'll show you here later on, but beyond imagination, really, that anyone could live in these places, that they, and I was just so surprised that they would stay there. I imagine you run into the same kind of people.
I have.
Okay. All right, Carrie, we're going to go up to Jose Diaz-Balart, who is in the Richmond Heights neighborhood, which is in the same general vicinity with Country Walk. Jose?
Brian, I'm at the Glendale Baptist Church here at Richmond Heights, and the church itself was destroyed, but they are in the process of rebuilding it. They've put up the flags, and they have also put up a lot of the material they're going to need to start working on the roof. But the thing that you see behind me is the efforts of this church and so many other churches from around the United States that have come to help Glendale Baptist Church in this food drive. And you can see the line goes all the way back to the other building that was also destroyed by Hurricane Andrew. This area is being the patrol, the security is the 82nd Airborne, and they're just giving anything away from water to baby food to just general food. They need a lot more. But I'm going to call in Mark Coates, who is a youth minister here, and he's been helping to organize everything. Mark, good to see you.
How you doing?
Listen, tell me a little about what it is that you all are accomplishing here.
Well, basically, because of the disaster, we're feeding. We fed about 8,000 so far.
Today?
Today. Well, today we fed about 4,000 so far. Yesterday we fed 3,700. Probably by the weekend we'll be feeding up to 8,000 people. We started out with 4 tables. Bill Perry, Dewey Knight III, myself, a couple other people. It has now expanded, and we've got communities coming in from Richmond Heights, South Miami Heights, Perrine, Homestead. And what we need from the public is baby food, Pampers, ice, water.
Anything for the babies. There's a lot of babies out there.
We got a lot of babies. As a matter of fact, when we first started out, they were dehydrating on us because they weren't getting water.
Mark, you were telling me a little about, just before we went on the air, how the hurricane has cut across racial lines, ethnic lines, even economic lines.
Absolutely. Rich, poor, middle class, they've all been out here. Just can't get the food and water fast enough. So we're just soliciting people to, if you want to come out and volunteer your services, this is the Glendale Baptist Church. Of course, Jesus Christ is the reason we're out here helping and serving, and we just need you to give us more food, more water, more Pampers, more baby food, and volunteers.
Thanks a lot, and the people just keep coming.
They just keep coming. We're open from 11 to 8. Come and get it. We got it here. Just come and get it.
Okay, thank you very much. And what he's talking
Jose,
about... Yes.
Let me just ask you something. Can people, if they want to bring the Pampers and the baby food, can they bring it right down to the Glendale Baptist Church, or do they have to give it to a drop-off point and then it's distributed down to the Glendale Baptist Church?
That's a good question, Tony. Tony Segreto wants to know if the people who want to give food, Pampers, baby food to this church, do they have a drop-off point they give it to, or do they have to come right here and give it to y'all?
Just bring it right to the Glendale Baptist Church, because right now...
Give us the address.
14580 Southwest 117th Avenue. And I want you to know something. I want the public to know something. Those folk who are down on the south side, down north and downtown Miami, North Miami, you need to take a look at these pictures on TV. This is serious business. People are starving out here. They're hungry. They need you to come and give support. This is definitely a disaster.
Okay, so you heard it. Come on down here. Anything you can do, volunteer, bring food and baby food, bring Pampers, anything you can. It'll be well appreciated. Tony, back to you.
Jose, before I let you go, you were at 152nd Street off the Turnpike yesterday.
Yeah.
At that area where they were giving out food and water and Pampers and clothes. How would you compare the two?
Well, it's difficult to say. There are a lot more people lined up here, And one of the reasons may be because the one at 152nd Street has stopped giving food out to people. They are now a distribution center, and they are now from that area giving different areas in need food and water. So the people that used to line up there and in other places here as well yesterday are now having to come here alone. And as you can see that line that Jeff Doyle showed you, it is just this long from the moment we got here, and I venture to guess it will probably be this long for the remainder of the day.
Okay, Jose, thank you very much. We'll get back to you in just a little bit. Traffic has been an absolute nightmare, as we have well documented, especially in the last 48 hours because of all the traffic signals down. A number of accidents have occurred as a result. We have asked for volunteers to go out and help the police because as good a job as the police are doing, they just can't man every single intersection, especially some of the intersections that have a lot of traffic and the traffic signals are down. We sent Gail Bright out on traffic watch today, and here is the first installment of her reports from US 1 and 104th Street. It is Traffic Watch, the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew with Gail Bright.
Okay, you can see the traffic coming off of the expressway. They're coming from the north, they're headed southbound. I'm not too sure if these are people that live in this area or people who live in the north that are bringing supplies possibly. Let's see if we can find out. Can we talk to you for a second? We're on Channel 4. Sure. We're just curious, all the traffic that's going in, where are you going?
I'm working at the Family Service Center of the Red Cross in Perrine at 19105 US 1.
So you're going out there every day?
Yes.
Do you think the traffic is getting better or worse?
Today it's worse. Yesterday it was pretty good, I thought, but today it's terrible.
I think the people are just getting bored and hot and everybody's getting in their cars. And
probably, yeah.
Do you see that the attitude is changing any, that the people are on the roads that are being a little less friendly maybe, or?
No, not so much.
They're letting you by?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us, and thanks for the help. Okay, here we go. They look like they've got supplies and boxes. We're from Channel 4. How come you're headed south?
We're helping our friends. We're helping our friends with taking generator and roofing material to them, and food and water. And
You live over the north end?
Yeah,
we're
from
Port St. Lucie. Well, I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, that's the traffic scene. They're starting to move a little bit. Maybe we can catch up. Here's an Ohio plate. You guys really from Ohio?
Yeah.
What are you doing going south?
School. Go to FIU.
FIU, but what are you doing in this particular traffic?
My girlfriend lives down in Perrine. We're going to fix up their house.
Jeez, you're going to be down there a while.
Yeah, we've been working on it for about a week now. About 5 foot of water flood through there.
Is it salvageable, or are you going to be able to put it
I think they're going to have to tear it down and start over.
Jeez. All the way from Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, here we have she doesn't look too happy. She's got a car full of kids with her. Hi, we're from Channel 4. We're just trying to get an idea of what all this traffic is about. Why are you headed south?
She doesn't speak English.
How about you? Why are you going south?
Because we're going to the Toyota to repair the car.
Repair the car?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Car repair. So say you have everything from car repair to people helping friends, to people who have gone out to get supplies and trying to get back. A real nightmare. In fact, the traffic that I've seen in this particular area gives the word nightmare a whole new meaning.
Okay, from the ground to the air, we're now going to go live to Sky 4 and Ari Azer for the very latest on the traffic at 518. Hi, Ari.
How you doing, Tony? We just flew over that part of US 1 that Gail did her report from, and let me tell you, it's bad out there, but it's not absolute gridlock. I mean, you can move. The problem, of course, are all the intersections without traffic lights, which have been plaguing us for this whole week now. But what I want to talk about right now is some of the environmental impact that Hurricane Andrew is going to have on South Florida and has had already. We're flying right now over Matheson Hammock. Take a look down here at what used to be the mangrove line shoreline here along South Dade. All these mangrove trees are dead. Most of them, at least, are dead. And according to the state environmental people we talked to today at Channel 4, these trees are not going to come back. The storm killed them. Now, that is a severe dent in this ecosystem here in South Florida, because the mangroves, as we know, are the root of the food chain in this part of the world, in the tropical areas, because the roots of the mangrove anchor the soil. The leaves from the mangrove are what the little fish feed on, the bigger fish feed on them, etc. And that's what starts the food chain here that so many of us rely on. The fishermen rely on for their living, and so many of us who love to eat seafood rely on just for food. Now look at the water itself. The water itself is black, it's ugly, it's muddy, and that's because the storm stirred up so much mud and gunk from the bottom of Biscayne Bay, all the pollutants that have been funneled out into the bay for decades have all come to the surface. They've all washed ashore. It smells bad. Even from this altitude, you can smell the water and the stuff in the bay down there. So it's a very sad situation, and according to the state environmental people, this is going to take decades to recover from, especially the mangroves, because they're going to have to replant many of the trees down there. If you can take another look down here, you see what I'm talking about. Those trees, many of them are flattened. Most of them have no leaves, and they're going to have to be replanted with mangrove seedlings, which take a long time to grow. So the impact here is just being assessed now. We can't show you, of course, the impact that all this mud and stuff has had on the coral reefs out here in Biscayne Bay or at Biscayne National Park further to the south. Again, all that's going to have to be assessed, and hopefully it won't be as bad as the environmental people think it is right now. With any amount of luck, this area will come back hopefully soon. Tony?
And Ari, there is another issue about the environment, and that is that the debris, there is just so much trash. I think they estimate 2,000 tons a day, that some of that trash is starting to get burned in a controlled atmosphere, but nonetheless, all of that smoke from the debris is causing another environmental problem.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that smoke today, not much to show you right now. And again, if that becomes a wide-scale problem, you better believe it's going to have an impact on the air quality here. Right now, speaking of a different sort of trash and junk, take a look down here. Some of these boats in this marina have been splintered in half by the hurricane. There's trash all over the place. As you can see, there's a fire truck down there right now trying to help out with a few things, I think. We saw earlier a burning truck in this neighborhood. So perhaps sparks are flying if somebody's trying to burn any debris or something. It's not a good idea to do. Now you see these boats over here that have collapsed and have just splintered in two like toy boats from the hurricane. Help is on the way for them, at least if you're a boat owner who can afford the help, because we flew over a different marina earlier. I believe we're too far away from there right now to show you, but there are barges out there trying to right these boats and trying to refloat them and salvage them and do what they can as far as getting these boats back into service. Now, of course, if you don't have boat insurance or if you can't afford it, wow, these boats are really going to become a navigational hazard, because they're not only in the marinas like this, but they're in the open waters too. You can spot them, just sails sticking up and things like that. So the mess here is just phenomenal. You can really only appreciate the mess of Hurricane Andrew from the air. Tony?
Okay, all right, thank you very much. We'll get back with you in just a little bit. It is 5:22. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we will go live to Nick Bogert in Country Walk and also introduce you to some heroes from the Homestead area. Please stay with us.
All looters will be shot on sightings.
And that's a real gun in your hand?
Yeah.
It's a real shotgun?
Of all the ways you can furnish your home, one of the most beautiful ways is with Anderson feature windows and patio doors. Elegant designs bring the warmth of tradition, the comfort of nature. Ordinary furnishings create a look. Anderson windows create an experience.
Before you put up a ladder, before you put down a drop cloth, before you spend too much, come to Walmart for savings on everything you need to do the job right. Choose Walmart house paint for value and protection outside, and Dutch Boy flat wall paint or Glidden spread wall paint for today's colors inside. Custom mixed at no extra charge. Make it easy with Manco masking tape and GE silicone caulk. Quality paint and painting supplies. It's all at Walmart, and it's always the low price. Always.
With these two, what you need is patience and a lot of energy. What you don't need is irregularity. I tried some stimulant laxatives, but they can work when you least expect it, like laxative roulette. And then I remembered Metamucil. When I was pregnant, my obstetrician recommended it. She said it's a way to get the natural fiber I need to get regular and stay that way. And I feel really great. Right, sweetie?
Sunrise Smooth Metamucil. You can stay regular for the rest of your life.
Hey, look, it's Claire. Clairvoyant. Cool.
Suzette. I know what Ed's thinking. He's thinking about what he'd do if he won lotto. He's going to take you on a romantic tour of the South Seas.
yourself something to think about.
You know something, Ed? I like the way you think.
Play Lotto.
Is it true MacArthur T.G. Lee ice cream can really make you more handsome? Well, how about sharing some with me? Just a bit? A little teeny lick? I guess you want to keep it all for yourself, huh?
Yeah.
We all grew up. I'm MacArthur.
Scenes from earlier in the week before the organization took its place in the South Dade and Homestead area. It is 5:25. I'm Tony Segretto. This is the 5 o'clock edition of the Channel 4 News, Hurricane Andrew, the aftermath. A tough day today for Kerry Sanders because one of the things he had to do was go on a search for what they were hoping they wouldn't find, and that is bodies. There's a count of 33 dead thus far. It's a low total so far. We're keeping our fingers crossed that that is the final total, but there may be more. And Kerry Sanders went with the people today looking to see if there were any bodies that had not yet been found.
We'll take, just going to take the left-hand side and work into the wind up, and my team's going to go from that side and move over this way and move that way as best we can.
We're at the Homestead Mobile Park in Homestead, where they now have some dog teams in, and they're doing search and rescue. Lucy is inside with Marcus. Marcus is a dog that's trained to sniff out bodies or to perhaps sniff out somebody who might still be alive. Lucy, we're going to follow you along here with Marcus. What's the plans here?
What I'm doing is I'm letting him have his lead. He will go in. If I tell him to search, he's looking for generic human scent, live, dead, whatever. He'll go in there. If he finds anything, he's trained to come back and alert. He gives what's called a find indication. In this case, this particular dog sits and barks. Other dogs grab a toy that's very special to them. And then their job is to go refine, which is take us into the person. He's not found anything so far. I'm going to continue to ask him to search. Marcus, find him. What we do need to do is have your team stand back because, of course, generic human scent means he'll probably end up finding you if you're in front of us.
Okay, well, I'll stay back, Lucy, and I'll chat with you as you go along. Your name again?
My name's Doug Gibson.
Okay, Doug, tell me a little bit about this. Is there really the possibility of hope that somebody could still be alive trapped under here with the heat that we have had and just, I mean, is it really possible somebody could still be alive?
It's possible. The experience in other disasters, earthquakes and such, have been people found several weeks later. So there's always a chance.
And I guess there's the hope.
Right, and in any event, if there are bodies there, they need to be recovered too. So.
Yeah, because that, of course, brings on a lot of problems to the health of the community
right.
if there are decaying bodies amid the rubble.
Certainly.
Okay, we see that there are also members from the Sheriff's Department that are here with their canine units. Those dogs are not necessarily trained for this, are they?
Not specifically, but they are trained to hunt on a human. They will more likely hunt on a live human than a body, because they're trained to detect fear.
Okay, this dog's name is Marcus. Do you know what breed of dog we're looking at here?
He's a German Shepherd.
Oh, he's a German Shepherd. Okay, he's just so dark he doesn't look like the normal German Shepherd.
It's a recessive trait of German Shepherds, the dark color.
And so Marcus has been used in other situations successfully?
Yes, he does different types of searches. He'll search for people in the water and drowning victims.
Let me come up here. Lucy says that she may have found something. What are you saying, Lucy?
I'm telling you to check it out. I mean, it's it's very possible. I mean, a car that's crushed under a home, it's possible that there would be somebody there. And he swung around this way, but on the other hand, he's not giving me any indication of a find, and so we're going to continue searching.
How do we know when he's found something? What does he do that indicates it's actually a find?
He cries. He will not leave the area. If I leave the area, he actually follows me and sits and barks and acts stupid. A thing he never does any other time.
Okay, we'll continue to stay back while you walk on through there with Marcus.
The dog is searching for human scent. Everything has human scent here. It's difficult for them to distinguish. So we're looking for the freshest human scent we can, and yet many people have lived here in a short amount of time. So, in a recent time, these dogs, when they do wilderness search, when you find somebody in the woods, no, those aren't the people we're calling.
Yeah, I fear getting in the way.
No, it's okay. Find it, Marcus. Check it out.
There you can see Marcus.
Wilderness search. There might not have been anybody in their area for years, and then he smells a scent, he goes in, he comes back, it's very clean, it's very clear, it's a very quick search. This is the kind of stories are made of. This is a difficult situation. It would be easy to miss somebody because of the dog's expertise or lack thereof. This is the kind of disaster that no dog or person is ever really prepared for. I smell a rotten smell, okay? That could probably be a refrigerator. This is what we're finding a lot of, dead meat and things in the refrigerators. Point is, he's doing his job. He's brought me back here.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna honor him by following it through.
Okay, and I'll tell you what, we'll sneak in right here behind you and sort of let you look around.
Find it. Find it. Now, he went back in that back room twice, so there's a lot of food here too. So they are trained to distinguish between food and human. When food, when it's human excrement, like the cameras don't really want to show at this point. You get my picture?
Yeah.
They'll get a little mixed up in the sense of leave it. Good boy. So he's not whining and barking and dragging me in here. He's just saying, Mom, this is something you should check out. All right.
So that's probably an indication of a false lead there.
Yep. Good boy. This house is so devastated.
And this one's still standing.
The Bible, comfort, and salvation.
A lot of the folks I have talked to have said to me that they do not know how it is possible that the numbers are as low as they are in the numbers of deaths. And so Lucy's greatest fear is that she may, with Marcus, end up find other bodies. By ending up and finding other bodies, see that number grow.
There's a lot of nails up here. You guys be careful with your fingers.
Yeah, thank you very much. We've been through a lot of these areas.
Another refrigerator, another strong smell.
Careful there.
And as you can probably see, it's pretty dangerous for the dog with his pads. But they do what they're told, and he's a good worker. If I tell him to check it out, he will check it out.
Yeah, you can even, just in the breeze blowing across here, you can pick up all types of scents, and our noses are nothing like dog noses.
Right. An eighth of his brain is devoted completely to scent. So all you have to do to tap that resource and make it usable in a commercial value, if you will, and for the community, is to teach him to do it upon command, praise him heavily, and teach him to do it in varied degrees of challenges such as this. We do a lot of work even with just wilderness dogs with agility courses. I have 3 children, and he wasn't 5 before I started him searching. We used to take him to the park, and he went up and down the slides with the kids. So he learned that it was okay. We have all of our search and rescue dogs are trained in agility work.
Lucy, when did you all get down here today?
We just got down here today. We've had eight teams last week working with Metro-Dade Fire Rescue and their squads. And my feeling is from the rest of the canine team, we need to talk to the officers in charge, of course, that they could use many more dogs. And we can get them for them.
Is it a situation, I know as hopeful as he was, finding live people, are you really searching for bodies at this point?
Your guess is as good as mine. You can probably take that to a logical conclusion. If you were live, I think you would have probably crawled out by now. All the search dogs have to be impeccably obedient to it. They work off lead, and it's incredibly important that they non-bite dogs, that they be friendly with children, and if they do find somebody, especially in a wooded situation, no matter how frightened that person is of them, they're not going to hurt them.
Okay, well, continue along. I'm Kerry Sanders again, the Homestead Mobile Home Park, as they continue to search, and if they do find somebody, we'll let you know. I'm Kerry Sanders reporting now. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we also want to remind you again about the curfew as we approach 5:35 on this Tuesday afternoon. Once again, it's a 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew. We're talking about the shaded area here, Southwest 104th Street to Southwest 152nd Street. Again, the curfew from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And the 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew, Kendall Drive, Bird Road, Southwest 8th Street, out to Chrome Avenue. Again, we want to reiterate, these are the curfew places. The shaded area on this map from 11 to 5 a.m.
as well. But we remain special edition news, 10 a.m. to 11:35. We'll stay with you. Please stay with us. Channel 4 News.
No problem.
Sometimes I wish I could be a grandmother to my own kids. Grandmothers don't get back talk. We get hugs. We tell stories. Give out lollipops. When you're a grandmother, you get
It's nice. The time to appreciate this rich taste of coffee.
And after the little one, all the joy. Think of
Sega, everything you love about coffee.
From FPL with a special message. Because of damage caused by hurricane, many of you are using portable generators. Be careful. Improper generator use could cause utility lines to become live unexpectedly. Also, ventilation. For more safety information, please see our ad in today's Miami Herald. Thank you.
Do you crave the world's greatest hamburger? World's greatest. Come to Fuddruckers and do it yourself. At Fuddruckers, you start with a fresh ground half-pound hamburger. Then you pile on the toppings. Fuddruckers. Build your own. So who makes the world's greatest hamburgers? Fuddruckers and you.
We tell them.
The presence of the military, as you just saw, certainly an aid to the South Dade area, trying to rebuild, and aiding us in trying to help you rebuild. We've been fortunate to have the Commission come gather with us on a number of occasions. We want to bring you the latest numbers concerning insurance claims, and as we had expected, over 700,000 claims will be filed, paying out probably in excess of $7.3 billion. That is $3 billion more than Hurricane Hugo. And now, Nick, we're standing by live in a neighborhood off of Old Cutler. Hi, Nick.
Hey, Tony, you're talking about that big picture number, 700,000 claims. We've showed you an awful lot of destroyed homes. There are plenty here in this neighborhood off Old Cutler. We're at this particular house because this is what they moved into on Saturday. They just moved in. The Huffs had just moved into this house on Saturday. Now, Nikki Huff, you didn't really realize there was a hurricane coming at that point, I guess, huh?
Not on Saturday. We were busy with the furniture movers.
So you found out when that this house was in some jeopardy?
On Sunday morning, my daughter called and said there was a hurricane coming.
Okay, we're now in the living room. Joe, you want to take a look at what this living room looks like now, and then we'll show you the before picture after that. You have some high water marks, what, 3-4 feet up there, I guess.
Yes.
And this is what that living room looked like a couple of days ago when you moved in.
That's right. That's right.
How long have you been thinking about moving into this house? And this is pretty much your dream house that you were going to live in forever after, I guess, huh?
Yeah, this was going to be it. This was our dream home. That's right.
So this is all new furniture that you purchased in order to move in here?
This is brand new furniture. Absolutely brand new. It's not even paid for.
And let's just take a look over here, Joe, at the pool. Here's how the pool looked the other day, just before they moved in. Now you can look out there. Now, the landscaping was obviously something you wanted badly for this house. That was one reason to move in here.
The landscaping was extraordinary. It was absolutely gorgeous. The backyard had 8-foot-high hedges.
Let's move now into the kitchen, Joe, if we can. We'll continue this little tour. First, we'll show you what the kitchen looked like before. That's what it looked like before. And Joe, go on in there and show the after. I'm a little bit hung up here on the microphone. You were saying, Nikki, that you had a TV crew in here from Charleston, and they'd seen, of course, lots of hurricane damage there, and they said this was worse than anything they'd seen.
That's right. That's right. They said this was worse.
What happens with the insurance money? Have you talked to your insurance company?
We've talked to our insurance company, and we have been assigned to an adjuster, but nobody's been out yet. However, they did give us some money.
Your plan is to rebuild your home here?
Absolutely. We're going.
you couldn't really have hit worse timing and worse luck moving into this house one day before.
That's right, but who knew? We didn't know.
And when you came back on Tuesday, what did you see? And
Total devastation. I didn't even recognize the neighborhood. I didn't know we were on our block. That's how bad it is here.
Must have hit you fairly hard.
Certainly did.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This house has been declared an unsafe structure. So, in fact, the Huffs are not living here. They're living over on Miami Beach, an apartment they say they were pretty lucky to find on fairly short notice, and they're going to at least tough it out there for a little while and hope that they can resurrect the home here. Back to you, Tony.
Is that their plan, Nick, to come back and try and rebuild?
You're going to try and rebuild right here on this land.
Yes, we love it down here. We're going to stay.
And you sure hope the insurance company will be able to help you to a great degree, I guess.
Oh, we certainly do.
And you're going to stay on this Miami Beach apartment until that happens?
About a year, yes.
About a year they're figuring before they can get back in here, Tony.
Okay, Nick, thank you very much. And certainly the Huffs are just one of a number of families who are faced with the situation being displaced for up to a year, as you just heard. We're going to give you this number for adoptive family. Now, let me explain this to you. Let me give you the number first, and let me explain this to you. It's area code 305-474-0024. That's 305-474-0024. Now, this is not only for someone who wants to adopt a family, like, for example, someone in Broward who says, I have a home, I have some room, I want to adopt a family, but it's also for families who would like to be adopted, families who need to have someone take them in. So for either side, I gave you the phone number. If you need to, give them a call. And Brian Norcross standing by in our South Dade Bureau in Homestead. I'm certain that there are a number of people in Homestead who could use that number and would love to be adopted.
You're right, Tony. It's been quite a scene here to actually get to meet some of these folks up close. And when we come back, we're going to tell you about some of the people that really have turned into Hurricane Andrew heroes. Ileana Bravo will have that story. As we're here at the tent city, and you see the lights being strung as the U.S. Marines are bringing power to a new city in South Dade. We'll be back live from Homestead in just a minute.
You know what you get when you buy a home? You get to mow your own lawn. And when something breaks, you get to fix it. Here's something you didn't plan on. Free checking. When you get your mortgage at Great Western Bank, they throw in a free checking account. So if you're shopping for a home loan, talk to the people at Great Western. They got 8 ways to get free checking. And you're going to be writing lots of checks.
You know, I love hearing how Depend gives great protection and confidence. Listen. Dear June, I didn't think I'd ever host another family picnic, but with the confidence Depend gave me, what a day we had. And these Depend products are the best yet, because AbsorbLock Plus not only absorbs, it actually locks liquid away.
You know, June, some of life's smallest moments bring some of its greatest joys.
Isn't that the truth? Get back into life.
Some stores lower the price on a pair of sneakers and jeans and call it a back-to-school sale. But at Mervyn's, we've put all kids' clothes on sale. All shirts and pants, all dresses and skirts, even all underwear. You'll save on all name brands. Bugle Boy, Levi's, Michael G, Nike, Lee, and Gecko. Mervyn's entire stock of kids' clothes is on sale now. That's what we call a back-to-school sale. But it all ends Labor Day. And remember, you will be tested on this.
In other words, hurry to your Florida Cadillac dealer. During our 92 closeout, you can lease a new 1992 Eldorado for just $448 a month for 30 months and only $1,500 down. But remember, time flies.
Imagine the luscious taste of Quaker Natural in a low-fat cereal. Now there's original and new low-fat Quaker 100% natural.
Any way you crunch, Quaker Natural, you love it 100%.
New low-fat Quaker Natural tastes crunchy, irresistible, and it's low in fat. Try it on fresh fruit, yogurt, even out of the box.
Any way you crunch, Quaker Natural.
original and new low fat.
You'll love it 100%.
All looters will be shot on sighting.
And that's a real gun in your hand?
Yeah.
It's a real shotgun?
This is real bullets.
The sights and sounds of Hurricane Andrew. Here's the tent city is going up. You see the power going in. The cots are here. They're putting in the mess area. They've got communications. They're putting in showers. Everything you need. And besides that, they have a radio station on 1610 AM called Radio Recovery going on the air. It's going to be in English and Spanish and eventually going to be in Creole. They're going to put out a newspaper, drop pamphlets from the air. Any way they can communicate with the folks that need to know what services are being offered here. And as you can imagine, there are lots of heroes in this situation. Firefighters have come in from all over the country, besides, of course, Metro-Dade and local municipalities. Homestead, Florida City, all have their own fire departments. Eliana Bravo was out today and met some of them, talked to them.
Absolutely, Brian, and that is the message. There's so many heroes in this whole disaster in South Florida, from the regular people to the military to the fire and the police, but we thought that we would just look at a group that have been the ones that have kept us from crying, the ones that report to our house when you have a heart attack and nobody else can pick you up because they can't get through the roads. So we wanted you to meet some of the everyday heroes who have become hurricane heroes. A mother carrying 5 kids smashes her van into a Homestead toll plaza. Fire rescue airlifts her and one of the more seriously injured children. The others are left behind frightened and hurt. They've already lost their home. Overworked but still full of goodwill, Metro-Dade firefighter Lieutenant Bill Conderman turns on the charm to get a smile.
He can do it. Come on. All right. There he is.
I knew he could do it.
It's Chicken Man. Ready? It's Howie Chicken Man Conderman. Let it go, babe. That's pretty ridiculous, isn't it? You've never seen anything that stupid, have you?
Your lieutenant finds the moment to pull a gag and cheer these kids up so that instead of crying, he makes them laugh.
Yeah, that lieutenant is a great officer. He always finds the best out of things.
Oh, cute. So I guess you guys are always clowns, huh? Is that the deal?
Well, we try to make the best out of all the situations.
It's pretty tense out there right now. I guess you have to laugh also to keep yourself from going crazy from what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. You have to keep your sense of humor and see the best in all things.
Yeah. Do you think it makes you feel better if you can make a difference in one person's life?
Sure. If we can just touch that one person, especially if it's a young child, so they don't come away from this with totally bad experiences, it really helps us.
They've become saviors in these neighborhoods. The injured even drive to fire stations looking for help. Firefighters nationwide are pitching in. We understand that you bring us a big relief check. Do you mind showing it to us? And I don't want to spoil your moment.
No, that's all right. Everybody's doing their own thing, but from my office, Secretary Treasurer and myself wanted to bring this down. They need money, they need everything, and after viewing everything, I know, the Floridians all are going to get back, but I think the firefighters really are showing something. They were out helping victims, and in fact, they were victims themselves.
Firefighters taking care of their own. Dade County fire officials are building a relief fund to help more than 200 South Florida firefighters who have lost their home. Another 300 have had extensive damage. They are preparing to send out trucks to literally help them rebuild those homes, and in the meantime, they're giving them emergency funds just to keep their families going.
It's been almost unbelievable. The first time I came down here, I walked out here in tears. Their firefighters were here. They did not have homes, but here working, trying to help other people. We had one female firefighter sleeping in her backyard in a tent with her 2 kids, but yet every shift she's here working, trying to help other people that don't have homes. It just really shows what kind of dedication we have for the citizens of Dade County.
We tend to forget that the relief people that live here, many of them have lost their homes as well.
Absolutely. So they're not only making time to help others, they're also having to help themselves in between. But the fire department, Metro Fire, has been wonderful. They say they're going to start rolling the trucks with building materials and just rebuild these homes from scratch. So I think that's terrific.
We saw that yesterday, as a matter of fact, as Kerry was on. These Metro-Dade fire truck rolled right up, and these people, you know that they're residents here, and they're involved in this as much as anybody else, but they were as efficient and about that woman with heat exhaustion. You know, it was business as usual for them. They still are doing their job.
There's a story of one woman, Paula Hampton, who is attached to the Homestead Fire Station 6. We tried to find her today, and I hope I will before all this is over this week. But she has lost her home. She has pitched a tent in her backyard with her 2 children, and she's been reporting for her shift regularly every day. I think that's incredible.
It is a great story, Elena. Thank you. We're going to take a break now, and we'll be back in just a minute as our continuing coverage of the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew continues here on Channel 4 News, the 5 o'clock special edition, as the tent city goes up. And you can see here the wiring continues, ready for occupation beginning Thursday.
The brand. In the West, it's the way a man marks what's his. We're the beef people, and our WD brand is on every steak we sell. It means our U.S. choice beef has been specially aged and trimmed to ensure more flavor, more tender, juicy beef. WD brand, the mark of quality from Winn-Dixie, the beef people.
During DOC's back-to-school savings event, some people actually dress like students to get their frames for half off. Now everyone, 8 to 80, student or not, can get our best-selling frames for half off. Plus, you'll get them in 60 minutes or less. And as always, there's no risk, because you get 30 days to try your glasses or contacts, and if you're not 100% satisfied for any reason, you'll get your money back. You have my word on it.
America's most wanted are Ford's best-selling cars and trucks. In fact, every year for the past 5 years, Ford has had the best-selling cars and trucks in America. And now you can lease America's best-selling full-size pickup, Ford F-150, for about $198 a month for 24 months. Not 60, not 48, only 24 months. Complete with air, AM/FM stereo, and more for $198 a month.
Quality, value, and price.
Lease a new 92 Ford F-150 at your South Florida Ford dealer today and drive away with what America wants most: Ford quality, value, and price.
When you want a special gift, where do you go?
There's only one place to go. That's Martin King's.
Come see one of the most outstanding collections of fine gems and jewelry at affordable prices. Martin King's is the place for you. We manufacture on the premises. For 4 generations, we have been one of the South's leading estate buyers.
It's Martin King's.
For those who prefer only the very best.
Martin King's, Florida Diamond Brokers, 1074 Kane Concourse, Bay Harbor Islands.
Thank you, South Florida, for bringing more than 5 million pounds of supplies to the Channel 4 Y100 relief sites. Remember, the rebuilding process is just beginning, and we still need your help, generosity, and hard work. We'll continue to let you know what you can do as South Florida rebuilds. So stay with us. Channel 4 News.
It is 5:54. Welcome back. Certainly weather playing a major factor as we try to rebuild South Dade, the Homestead area, Florida City, the Redlands. Let's check on today's weather with Brian Allen. Brian?
Hi, Tony. Let's go ahead and open up the Storm Center and show you what's going on. As far as the temperature goes here in downtown Miami, it's 90. It feels like 100. Humidity right now, 59%. The wind's out of the southeast at 4. And the good news is no rain here in downtown. There really hasn't been any thunderstorms inland either today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather video this afternoon. Some good news. Some people definitely still getting that relief effort as it continues to pour on into South Florida. This is great. The little girl in the wheelbarrow. Dad's taking it, put her in there. Also some of the supplies as they truck on to what they call home for a while. Let's go ahead and do Clearview radar right now and show you what's going on as far as the good news goes. Just a couple of light sprinkles out by the airport. That is it. And it looks like Dade County is going to hold into this pattern for a while where we see these thunderstorms should be inland in the afternoon hours, but it doesn't look like what we're going to see or what we have seen especially Saturday and Sunday. Let's go ahead and give you a quick check of the state right now and show you how the loop looks. Here you can see what's been going on. Area of high pressure control, so that's bringing all the clouds in this way, which means coastal showers in the morning and then the thunderstorms inland into the afternoon hours. Our forecast goes like this for tonight. Partly cloudy, a couple of stray showers left over. Tonight's low 78. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, a few thunderstorms, a high of 91. And then your 4 more days, about the same, continuing with the morning showers Thursday and Friday, afternoon thunderstorms, temperatures right in the lower 90s. Tony?
Okay, Brian, certainly for a little kid, there's nothing more exciting than to be given a ride in a wheelbarrow. Okay, Jose Diaz-Balart spent the entire day at the Glendale Baptist Church where the relief efforts are going on there, and he has a story now on one of the littlest victims of Hurricane Andrew.
Somebody pray for me. Took a little time and prayed for me. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed for me.
I'm at Glendale Baptist Church, and they have organized this food and mostly baby food drive. It's kind of like a walkthrough where people who need it to walk through. And Denise Perry is here, one of the volunteers. Denise, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine.
Tell me a little bit about what we have here.
In this area, we have all of our baby food. We have juices. Down here, people come by and they get as much baby food as they like. Down in this area, we have our formulas, but we're running out of formulas and we need more. The next table following, we had first aid kits, personal items. Okay.
So here's all the baby food. As again, people can get as much of this as they want. Apricots, cream of vegetable, anything they want. They're coming by here, and virtually as much as they need. Let's see, Denise here.
Type of baby formula right now because we're out of everything else. We have Isomil, and we give out nipples with these. We give them the whole pack.
Ready to feed. They don't have to add water or anything.
Ready to feed. They don't have to add water.
Here you go, ma'am.
We give them the nipples to go on top of it, and that's it. They can just take it and go.
How many children do you have, ma'am? How many? One child. Is this a big help for you?
Yes.
Here, look, you can see some of the stuff they're picking up here. Some cereal. I still don't want to get in the way of these people, but this is just to give you an idea of one of the places at this church. You can see the roof has been destroyed. They're hard at work to get it back to normal, but even though it's been destroyed, their spirit is certainly far from destroyed, and they're doing everything they can to help those who need the most help now. Back to you.
And remember, we cannot stress enough, Jose was live at Richmond Heights at the Glendale Baptist Church earlier today, and once again, the cry for help is for baby items. So you saw the baby food there on that table. They need more baby food, they need more formula, they need more Pampers. So if you have that, have those goods, please make sure that you bring them to our drop-off points, and then we can then take them to the distribution centers. Okay, it is 5:58. We will be right back.
The Ross store-wide clearance. Prices have been reduced dramatically throughout the store. Great savings for men, women, and kids. The Ross store-wide clearance, now.
They could be marching into your home right now, entering through a crack in the foundation, chewing into your floors and subfloors, into your walls. Termites, there's one sure way to stop them. Call Terminex. Terminex technicians have treated over 5 million homes with methods proven to stop termites. We guarantee it. No ifs, ands, or bugs. Terminex. Call now for a free termite inspection.
Hey, look, it's Claire. Clairvoyant. Cool.
Suzette. I know what Ed's thinking. He's thinking about what he'd do if he won Lotto. He's going to take you on a romantic tour of the South Seas.
Give yourself something to think about.
You know something, Ed? I like the way you think.
Play Lotto.
This is Bob from FPL with a special message. The magnitude of Hurricane Andrew has left many homes unsafe to carry power. Because of leakage or flooding, there may be water in contact with wires, or your utility line connection may also be damaged. You may need to call a licensed electrician to make sure your home is safe. For more safety information, please see our ad in today's Herald. Thank you.
First came the light. The composition. When you capture an image this special, you need the special quality of Eckert Ultralab 35. 30% larger prints and 2 rolls of film for the regular price of 1. For the pictures of a lifetime.
You're not alone. We share the loss with you. All our families are feeling the pain. We care about what's happening. And we'll continue to be there for you. We're committed to helping South Florida rebuild. We'll stay with you. Please stay with us. Channel 4 News.
You're looking at a live picture from Homestead where tent cities are being built. Most of the tents went up yesterday, and now the Marines are installing electricity. They're also putting up showers and toilet facilities so that this can be habitable. We are told that the tents themselves, even though they look like they're ready to go, we're now being told it may be a couple of days before people can actually move in here.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:01. I'm Tom Mandels along with Kelly Craig. And, of course, Kelly, the news that is being, I guess you could say, greeted with mixed reviews is the news that President Bush is going to do his best to make sure that Homestead Air Base gets rebuilt.
Right, and he also said that today. He also said, which was a big relief, is that 100% of all eligible disaster expenditures, instead of the customary 75%, will be taken care of by the federal government. Let's go now to Brian Norcross, standing by live in Homestead with an update. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Kelly. We're here at the tent city you were talking about. We actually have seen a few people now coming in to sort of check it out. They've said that if someone is homeless and needs a place to stay, they will let them in here tonight. But they're looking at Thursday before they have it completely functioning with the kitchen facilities and everything else going. There's 108 tents